Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Village President Al Larson. In this episode, we'll be joined by Roxane Benvenuti and Anita Miller to talk about the Prairie Arts Fest. Then we'll talk to Tom Walsh about the upcoming environmental fair. We'll close out the program by catching up with Kathleen Benson from the Schaumburg Park District. All of this and more today here on Speaking of Schaumburg. Celebrating its 29th year, the Prairie Arts Festival brings artists of all types, food vendors, children's activities, entertainment, and more. Here to tell us about it is Special Events Coordinator Roxane Benvenuti and Arts Fest Judge and Juror Anita Miller. Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, you're a judge.
Yes, I am.
What have you been judging lately?
Well, I have, lately I own a gallery downtown in the Fine Arts Building, and I have shows in the gallery, and I need to have a review of the artist's work that comes in. Okay. And how do you grade this? Are you the only judge or juror that we have for the Prairie Arts Fest? Well, I jury it. I have John Latko, who is by my side, and together we have great discussions about the artwork. Okay, all right. And Roxane, what about you? What's your special events coordinator? Is this one of those special events?
Yes, this is one of the Village of Schaumburg special events that we look forward to every year, and we are very fortunate to have Anita help us make the selections of those who will be participating in the show each year. And I know for a fact, I've seen her and John, they really spend a lot of time deliberating over the artwork that's submitted and making the best decisions, so that people can enjoy all the painting and photography and sculpture and lots of jewelry.
How often do you disagree with John? Or how often does he disagree with you?
Well, we have friendly discussions about the artwork. One of the issues is we do get a lot of jewelry coming in because jewelry sells well at art festivals, and and that motivates a lot of artists to craft jewelry, to make jewelry. So we do spend a fair amount of time trying to get understanding as to how the jewelry is made. I have made jewelry myself, and so I am expert in knowing the different techniques of making jewelry and whether the individual has a background in jewelry for quite a while or has just decided last summer, oh, I think I'll make some jewelry because that would be fun.
How many, typically, what percent I mean, do you have a certain category? You say, okay, we want to have landscapes, we want to have jewelry, we want to have, do you balance that out? Do you try to have different segments of the art world represented?
Absolutely. We are trying to tap into a cross-section of artists so that the community can gain exposure to people in the different aspects of art: painting, drawing, woodworking, sculpture.
How do you ensure that the artwork has been done by the artist and not brought in from somebody else?
Well, there's a requirement that the artist send in several pictures of, it's on a CD, several pictures of their work. And the issue always is, has the artist created that artwork themselves, or is there some kind of element that was done mechanically by a machine elsewhere in the world? We don't want that. We want artwork that is done originally by the artist. They have been involved in the creative process.
And also one of our requirements is that the artist be present at the show so that the purchaser can actually meet the artist here on site, the person that created the work. So, they can actually find out information behind the piece and have a little more information about it than just maybe buying it at a store or something.
Tell me about the Prairie Arts Festival. Tell me where it takes place and what we expect to see and what kind of food vendors you have.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a place to come spend the afternoon. So we have, it'll be our 29th year, and you can always find a nice mix of all the media represented of the artwork throughout the grounds. And it's such a, as you know, such a scenic grounds with the pond, and the cygnets are being born, the baby cygnets, and the flowers are blooming, and it can be quite a lovely weekend to spend here and look at the art and purchase the art. And there's graduations and weddings and communions and birthdays and anniversaries, and what a great place to buy that personal gift for someone. And definitely spend the day here and have lunch with one of our many food vendors. We've got a wealth of different foods.
What kind of food? Tell me about the food.
So yeah, we have some new ones this year too. And we went with using mostly food trucks a few years ago because they're self-contained. It's a nice clean line of all of the food vendors, and it's less labor intensive to set it up, and they work out of their truck. And we have a variety of food, so you can have Asian food, Cajun food, pizza, sandwiches, ice cream, cupcakes, a big variety. So definitely lots of food to get snacking on while you're walking and shopping, and also to sit down and enjoy the lunch or an early dinner. And entertainment too. So as you're strolling the grounds, you're always going to hear some atmosphere background type music. We have 3 different areas, so you're going to have, harpist, jazz musician, guitarist, piano. You're going to hear a nice mix of music as you're spending the day here.
Now you said you have an art gallery in downtown Chicago.
I do.
And how long have you had that?
I've had it for 11 years.
Gee, that's a tough market to stay in, isn't it?
It is, but
what's your background? How did you get involved in?
First, I was a teacher. I taught out at Roosevelt University here in Schaumburg, and that's how I found, or John and Roxane found me. After a while, though, I was
How long have you been doing this, as far as the Prairie Arts Festival is concerned?
I think it's been 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Something like that.
Anita really cares about the art and spends a lot of time in reviewing it, so we always feel confident with her decisions.
I very much enjoy the process of looking at the artwork. I've become very familiar with the artwork here in the local artists, because I think it's really great that we invite people. If people apply, we invite them back year after year, and it's like a family. The community really has the expectation of seeing that artist or those artists again and again, and it's a really good relationship between the artists and the public that comes in.
What's your favorite genre?
Well, I am a painter, so personally, I love painting.
What kind of painting? Watercolor, oil? What?
I'm an oil painter, and my artwork, the subject matter is always a story. I like to tell stories about, one of my series was Coffee and Comfort, and now I'm doing a series, it's called Comic Book Art.
Kind of alongside Prairie Arts Festival is the plein air competition and show, and this will be our 6th year doing this competition.
Plein air meaning open air outside.
Yeah, painting in the open air outside, and the participants who register, the requirement is that they have to paint somewhere within the Schaumburg boundaries. And we have 53 artists participating this year, and they have a 2-week time frame in which to paint.
Who judges that? Is that one of Anita? Is that you?
We hire a separate judge for that, and they pick first, second, third place and honorable mention winners for that. And that exhibit will be in the Prairie Arts Festival, or in the Prairie Arts Center Gallery.
Okay, where is it located?
Well, they'll start painting in Schaumburg, April and May, and then once they submit their pieces, it will be displayed in the Agner Art Gallery in the Prairie Center building.
Prairie Center building in Schaumburg.
In Schaumburg, yes.
And what weekend?
It's going to be displayed the middle of May through the month of June.
Okay.
So plenty of time to come see
And the Prairie Arts
it.
Fest ends when?
It's May 28th and 29th, Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, Saturday and Sunday.
So people can come see the plein air exhibit while they're visiting the Prairie Art Show inside the building.
Well, sounds great.
I've observed people just enjoying that aspect of the show tremendously. They just love seeing.
And it's just fun to see
As
Schaumburg
much as
through
I
50
enjoy all of this, I
Yeah.
have to say,
Yeah.
nice, thanks, Anita, for being here.
Sure, you're so welcome.
thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Once again, thanks, Roxy. You too can do your part to help the environment. Learn more next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. The Environmental Committee and the Schaumburg Township Library District are hosting an environmental fair where the whole family can learn more about caring for our planet. Here to tell us more about the event is Tom Walsh from the Environmental Committee. Oh, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg, Tom.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Good to be here.
Tell me about the environmental fair. Where's it located? Who's involved?
The environmental fair is coming up on Saturday, May 14th. It's held at the Schaumburg Township District Library. We're partnering with the library to put on the event. At the event, the library has several tables set up in the main lobby with different, generally local people who are involved with the environment in some fashion or other. Spring Valley usually has a table there, other tables involved. The Environmental Committee is more responsible for the speakers that we have upstairs in the library, and we have 4 presentations. Well, 3 presentations and a project for kids, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
How many people do you anticipate coming to the event?
We're hoping to have hundreds.
Okay.
Sometimes this is our 3rd year doing this with the library. We'll get your regular library patrons and a few others that come in. I imagine downstairs at the tables, there's quite a few. There might be a couple of thousand by the time the day is over. It's a 3-hour event, runs from noon till 3 o'clock. We're trying to get more people for the presentations. I mean, they've been excellent presentations. But we have 4 speakers at the event. Well, 2 of the presentations are by the same person. One is called Rain as a Resource, and best ways to reuse rain. Use a rain barrel, have a rain garden, because that's clean water. Rain is clean water, and so he's speaking about using that rain, collecting that rain, keeping that rain, using that rain during the hot days of the summer. His name is Jim Kleinwachter. He's from the Conservation Foundation. In addition to that, he's going to talk about invite nature to your yard, about native plantings and what kind of good things you would plant, how to turn around your yard and make it beautiful and less work at the same time. Wonderful. The third one is from Farm to Table. We're having an organic food demonstration by a key chef at Seasons 52 restaurant.
Oh, my.
Going to show how to use natural ingredients in cooking. And then fourth, there'll be a build-up birdhouse workshop, an Eagle Scout candidate.
Giving away, aren't you? Giving away rent houses, right?
Yes, rent houses that the kids can come in and build.
Yeah.
Just contact the library, and they can set up a time. There's up to 30 people we have can build these houses, and this is an Eagle Scout project for this
okay.
8th grader.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been on the committee since 2012, August of 2012. Generally, we do these annually. There was a transition. We used to do them in the Prairie Center building, partnered with Hoffman Estates,
Sure.
Environmental Committee. And that was before I was actually a member of the team. I don't think I chased Hoffman Estates out. I think they left before I joined. But then we determined it was a good idea to partner with the library. The first one we did was a fall event, because that's when we usually did ours. And that didn't get as much attendance as we were hoping for, but it was wintertime, basically.
Sure.
It was cold out. So we got together and decided to go ahead and annually do a springtime near Earth Day.
Sure.
Of course, this will be a month after Earth Day, but in that general area, springtime,
Sure.
people more thinking of outdoor things. And to me, a big part of environmental care is the outdoor and the air we breathe and that sort of thing. So we've been doing that now. There might have been actually 4 events, as I'm thinking about it. Because this might be the 3rd time we're doing that springtime.
Cooperation with the library, I think, is pretty important. I think.
Yeah, it's great. It's great because they have a lot of resources that we don't necessarily have. You know, and we do the combination thing. We bring in speakers, and they bring in that have the tables and that, and they can direct people upstairs to see the presentations. I think it's worked out very well.
What does the Environmental Committee do besides this environmental fair?
We're a advisory committee for the village, and we just finished having a major recycling event. It's probably the biggest thing we do in terms of success and time we put into it. Martin McTregor at the Public Works Department sets this up and does a very good job. we had over 1,600 cars in a
Really?
5-hour span coming through, dropping off recyclables of all types. The only things we don't take there are hazardous waste.
Okay.
But we do bicycles and textiles along with motor oil and electronics.
Yeah, TVs too, right? But
TV, sure.
I think they're kind of cutting back on those, aren't they?
Well, this event, it was such a nice day. It was so successful that we really started overtaxing electronics people. Their fine was taking the TVs. They had several trucks there, but people just kept bringing stuff in. It's amazing. We also take care of CFC bulbs and long fluorescent tubes. And that was my particular job there, was to use what they call a bulb beater it accepts these tubes and crush them down to nothing.
Oh, really? Right on site?
Yeah, it's on a great big drum that they have at Public Works. And you got to be careful of it. It sucks the bulb down.
Okay.
And chops it, crushes it, and sucks up all the gases all at once in one event. It's a closed system. But that's what I was doing.
Who supplies that? Where does that come from?
I think Public Works actually owns this particular, they call it a bulb beater. It's the name on it.
A bulb beater?
It's a big 55-gallon drum with a fan motor on top and a big container to vacuum up the gases. And what it basically does is spin a chain around. Sure. And with the vacuum, we have about maybe a 2-foot-long tube that we put the bulb through, so it's steady. Then you just let go, and it sucks it in, chops it up. There's like a chain, I think, wraps around and sucks it up. But we did I think 297 bulbs this year in that machine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just concentrate on that. I don't see the rest of it, but every time I look around, it's still this long conga line of cars. It's just amazing that we get so many vehicles go through there.
I imagine some folks might have got trapped in it.
I think it surprised some people. There's always a comment from some people, well, you got to do this better. Well, there's no way to get that many vehicles through. Yeah. We actually, I think, very efficient at it. We've dropped the cycle time from the time they enter the driveway to the time they leave. I don't know the minutes, I'm sorry, but I know we've made substantial improvements in that, because each year we tweak it to make it a little bit better.
No, it's just staffed by environmental committee members.
Well, by the environmental committee, there's 9 members on the committee.
Sure.
And we'll all work that all day. We also open to volunteers. We have several volunteers from the Schaumburg Police Academy every year.
Okay.
School district, it's on school district property, we hold it.
It's right across the street from Village Hall, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just been a very successful event. Family members come in to help out. There's a lot involved. Martha Dooley is always there.
Sure.
So it's very, but that is the biggest job we do.
Sure.
And then there's different awards that the village has, which we're well of. There's, of course, the L. Larson Environmental Award, which can go to business or residents. And I'm a past winner of that, by the way. Before I was on the committee, there's no favoritism here. I won the award. I joined the committee after I won the award. But we have a group of candidates for the awards. There's those, and there's also separate landscape awards.
Oh, yeah, for the various businesses in town.
Right, for businesses, there's several categories of that. So we'll be presented with a group of candidates. The village presents that. Martha gives us a list, and we'll discuss them, and we go out and visit them, and then we make our recommendations.
What kind of response do you get from businesses when you tell them what you want to do?
Well, usually I don't go inside.
Okay.
I'll just walk around. So if someone comes outside, I'll certainly tell them who I am.
Sure.
And what I'm doing there. But it's mostly like in the landscape awards, there was a native landscaping award.
Sure.
We'll walk around and look at and see if it looks like how nice it's set up, and all that. And the businesses in this village do a real nice job of making their facilities look very nice.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure seeing a lot of these.
And they put those up, don't they? They just display those plaques.
Yes, I've not gone afterwards to see where'd you put this plaque. But they get a nice plaque, and it's put in at the village board meetings, which we're aware of. At that point, it's out of our hands. But we get kind of recommendations of who we think should win it. And as far as I know, none of those have been turned down by the village, so I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. So how long have you been involved with the environment? I mean, what prompted you to get involved with the environmental committee?
I come from a family of people who like nature. Okay, my wife's an Illinois Master Gardener. My older son has 3 different horticulture-related degrees from Harper College. I've always liked green space, green areas, and so the air and how important trees are, all those things are important to us. And my son John, who has those 3 degrees, he spent part of his college years working summers at the Morton Arboretum. So he has a lot of good exposure to trees and that, and we're just big fans. So it's mostly landscaping and air quality that's our environmental interest. You know, I drive well, my wife has a hybrid car now. When I joined the committee, I had a hybrid car, but I ended up trading it in and have a very efficient vehicle, but it's not a hybrid. My next one might be, and then my wife drives a hybrid car. On this event, it's not on our flyer for the event, but we may have a plug-in hybrid vehicle available for view outside as well.
Tom, thanks for coming by.
It's good to talk to you, Mayor.
Appreciate your work and your work in the Environmental Committee. I look forward to more adventures as far as...
I hope people come out May 14th, noon to 3 p.m. at the Schaumburg Township District Library.
Very good. Thank you, Tom. It's time to tune up that bicycle. Learn more next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. Celebrate Schaumburg's German heritage with a police-guided one-hour tour of its bikeways. Kathleen Benson joins us to tell us about the Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg. Tell us about the Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg.
The Fahrrod Tour is going to be happening on Sunday, May 22nd. It starts at Blackwell School here in Schaumburg, and it's a little over a 5-mile bike ride to the municipal center here, ending for the event.
And what happens when they get here?
When they get here, we have a DJ, we have a really nice lunch. They can have either a brat or a hot dog, chips, drink, and then just a fun way to end the event. It's usually a great day. Everybody has a great time biking through Schaumburg here and then enjoying the nice lunch and entertainment afterwards.
Have you ever done this?
I ran the event last year. I haven't actually biked in it. Maybe this year.
You ran it? Meaning instead of biking, you ran it?
No, I didn't actually run the event, but maybe this year I'm actually thinking about getting a bike and doing it myself as well.
What, you don't have a bicycle?
Oh, yikes, no. I do need to find one.
Okay, all right. So where did the name come from, Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg?
That comes from the German heritage of Schaumburg here.
Jerry Hanlon, I think, was the guy who recommended the name, Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg.
Right, the old past director here at the Park District.
Oh yes. How did you get involved with the Park District? And what do you do with the?
Myself, I am actually I'm the box center manager at the Park District, one of the center managers, and I run all the special events. I started at the Park District a little over almost 2 years ago.
What kind of events take place at the Bach?
At Bach, we have a lot of smaller family events, so a couple of our Halloween events take place there. We also do a St. Patrick's Day event, but I also run the big events out at the CRC, like the Halloween Bonanza and the Bunny Bash as well.
Are you going to do anything with the Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg? Is that any of your responsibility? Or?
Yes, that is my responsibility. I will coordinate the DJ, the food. We also make sure I work with our Parks Department and making sure that all the signs are set up so none of our bikers get lost on the 5-mile bike ride through Schaumburg.
5 miles, huh?
Yeah, it's a little lengthy, so we encourage families to come out, but little kids with tricycles or scooters is probably not the best for them. So
it's not the best for guys like me.
Hey, we want to see you out there too.
I might not be touring this year.
Oh, okay. We'll definitely miss you.
The last 2 years, I've been cut off by some of these youngsters, and at one point I think I might have cracked some ribs.
Oh no, we can't have that happen to you, Mayor.
No, we can't. No, it's at Blackwell School, right?
Yes, it starts at Blackwell School. It starts at 12 o'clock, so you can either ride your bike there, or you can bring your car over there with your bike. But yeah, we'll start there, and then we'll make our way to the municipal center here. And then afterwards, we can either take you, if you're tired of biking, we can put your bike on the van, and we'll take you back to Blackwell, or you can bike right back to Blackwell or bike home, whatever you choose.
How many participants do you anticipate?
Last year we had almost 200. So unfortunately, it all depends on the weather. So better weather day, we'll get a lot of people coming out. If it's a day, a little cloudy, who might not have as many.
One of the early years of the Fahrrod Tour von Schaumburg, I think we had threatening rain, thunderstorm, and we took shelter at a gazebo that was right by the police station at the time.
Oh my goodness! So I hope that doesn't happen.
Huddled all together when the rain came pelting down, and then it it let up and the sun came out and it got hot and muggy, and we finished the ride.
Oh, that's good. At least it held out. But yeah, last year the weather looked a little threatening, and we had about 175 people come out. So this year, I'm hoping it stays good and we get nice weather for the event.
I think it's a bit of a challenge, I think, to herd these kids, make sure they don't take over the entire street, because they're still open to cars.
Exactly. We do pass a couple busy roads, so it is a struggle sometimes to get 200 people past the road to make sure everything goes okay.
So you coordinate this with the Park District?
With the Park District and with the village as well.
And the police department?
Exactly. The police department here at the village does help us out in making sure that our riders are safe the whole time.
How long does it take to ride that 7 miles or 5 miles?
To ride the 5 miles, it usually takes participants about 45 minutes to an hour or so.
Okay.
So we'll just make sure that we're all ready to go with that nice hot lunch when you come by with your bike. So.
Plenty of stops along the way too, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. And if a rider does get a little tired, we do have our Park District does bring a van to help pick up people at the end if you get a little tired and need a little drive
helping
back.
Pick people up on a little that.
Pick them up, literally maybe, hopefully not off the ground, but and put the bike maybe in the back and give them a little ride to the municipal
Rain
center.
or shine, we're gonna.
Yes, as long as it's not thunderstorming, we will do it. So.
Okay, starting at Blackwell School.
Blackwell School, 12 o'clock.
That's off of Walnut, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I get a chance to see some of the picturesque areas in Schaumburg that you normally don't see. Is that
Oh,
correct?
it's a beautiful bike ride. It's through, on the trails and through the neighborhoods here in Schaumburg. It is absolutely beautiful.
And you get some serious bikers, and then you get trikers too, I would imagine.
Exactly. You'll get, very serious bikers, and then some with their family with a 7-year-old child who enjoys bike riding and wants an occasional ride. So.
Oh. Well,
it's a great event.
I plan on being there.
Awesome, excellent. Well, we would definitely be happy to see you.
I will be there.
Awesome. Well, for sure, come at least for the lunch afterwards.
Well,
so
I might come for a brat or two.
Excellent.
Kathleen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That'll do it for this edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Join us again next month for another all-new episode. Until then, I'll see you around town.